We live in a world where people often glorify milestones, the big victories, the grand achievements, the unforgettable turning points. We celebrate the day someone graduates, the day someone receives an award, the day someone finally achieves success after years of struggle. Those moments are beautiful, no doubt. But if we pause and reflect, we realize that those big events did not appear out of thin air. They were built silently, patiently, and consistently by the small choices made every single minute along the way. It is easy to believe that our future is decided by major opportunities or sudden strokes of luck. But in truth, the foundation of our lives is laid in the minutes we often overlook. Every single minute carries within it the power to shape the person we are becoming and the life we are creating. When we waste those minutes in negativity, in procrastination, in self-doubt, we silently allow our future to shrink. But when we fill those minutes with effort, gratitude, kindness, and growth, we carve a future full of strength and possibilities. Think about it, 1 minute of courage can change the trajectory of your life. A single minute where you decide to apply for that job, share your idea, or speak your truth can lead you down a path of transformation. In the same way, 1 careless minute of anger or hopelessness can break relationships, destroy opportunities, or leave you stuck in regret. The minutes we treat casually are actually the bricks we are using to build the walls and bridges of our tomorrow. Every minute is like a seed. If you plant a seed of negativity, it will grow into a tree of despair. If you plant a seed of kindness, it will blossom into relationships, trust, and peace. The truth is, we all want to see a beautiful forest in our future, but we sometimes forget that forests grow out of tiny seeds planted in moments that felt ordinary. The minutes you live now are not just passing time, they are shaping the environment you will walk through in years to come. Let's take an example from daily life. Imagine 2 people who start their mornings differently. One person spends 10 minutes each morning in gratitude, reflecting on what they have and focusing on possibilities. The other spends the same 10 minutes scrolling through negativity, comparing themselves to others and complaining. Over one day, it might not matter much, but stretch that over 1 year, over 10 years, and you will see the massive difference. One person builds resilience, clarity, and peace of mind. The other unknowingly feeds bitterness, envy, and frustration. The difference wasn't created by one dramatic event. It was shaped in minutes. The way they chose to spend them, day after day. The beauty of this truth is that it gives us power. We do not need to wait for a grand opportunity to redesign our future. We only need to take charge of the minutes we have right now. The minute you decide to forgive someone instead of holding on to anger, you release yourself from chains that might have trapped you for years. The minute you decide to take the first small step toward your dream, you set into motion a ripple effect that might bring endless opportunities your way. The minute you choose kindness when you could have been harsh, you build bridges of trust that may last a lifetime. We often think the future is something far away, waiting for us in the distance. But the truth is, the future is being written every minute we live. Your words today will echo in your relationships tomorrow. Your choices today will reflect in your character tomorrow. Your habits today will decide your health, your career, and your peace of mind tomorrow. You cannot go back and change yesterday, and you cannot fast forward to tomorrow. But you have this minute, and this minute is enough. Of course, life is unpredictable. We cannot control everything. Storms will come, losses will shake us. Circumstances will change in ways we never imagined. But even then, the minutes we spend responding to those storms will shape our resilience. Do we surrender to despair, or do we use those minutes to gather courage and stand tall again? That choice, made minute by minute, is what makes us who we are. So let us not underestimate the value of each minute. Every smile you give, every kind word you speak, every bit of effort you invest, every dream you dare to imagine in this moment. All of it is adding up. You may not see the results immediately, but trust that the minutes you are living now are weaving the fabric of your future. When you wake up tomorrow, remember this: you do not need to wait for a grand miracle to shape your destiny. The miracle is already in your hands. It is the minute you are living right now. Make it count. Fill it with meaning, because when you look back years from now, you will see that your life was never shaped by one single event. It was shaped by the countless minutes you chose to live with intention. Life has a strange way of testing us. It never warns us before it throws storms our way. One moment you think you know your path, and the next moment everything changes. Adversity arrives without knocking on the door. An accident, a loss, a failure, a betrayal, a sudden shift that turns your world upside down. At first, it feels unfair. It feels cruel. You might wonder why you have to carry a burden that seems heavier than what others have to face. But here is the truth: adversity is not the end of the story. Adversity is often the beginning of transformation. When life takes something away from us, it also gives us something in return: perspective, strength, resilience, and the ability to rebuild ourselves in ways we never thought possible. We only recognize this gift when we stop fighting against what we cannot change and begin to ask, what can I learn from this? Who can I become because of this? Hardships are not punishments. They are invitations to rise to a version of ourselves we might never have discovered otherwise. Think about a seed buried in the soil. In that darkness, it feels as though everything has ended. Yet it is in that pressure, that unseen struggle beneath the ground, that the seed cracks open and begins its journey toward becoming a tree. Adversity does the same to us. It buries us in darkness for a while, but if we dare to endure, we discover that we are being prepared to grow into something greater than we were before. Every hardship carries within it a lesson. Failure teaches us humility and patience. Loss teaches us the value of love and the fragility of time. Rejection teaches us resilience and the ability to stand strong even when the world says no. Pain, though unwelcome, has the power to polish us like rough stones until we shine with wisdom. The very experiences we once wished to erase become the reasons we are able to help, inspire, and guide others. Of course, in the middle of adversity, it is hard to see the hidden gift. When you are broken, when your plans collapse, when you are grieving, the last thing you want to hear is that this will make you stronger. But if you hold on, if you endure long enough to rise again, you will realize that the fire that burned you also refined you. You will realize that you are stronger, wiser, and braver than you ever believed. What makes adversity transformative is not the pain itself, but the choice we make in response to it. Two people can face the same storm. One may give up, and the other may fight with courage. The storm does not decide the outcome, our response does. Adversity is the stage where we discover our true strength, where we realize that even when everything is taken away, one thing always remains: our ability to choose how we will rise from the ashes. Some of the most inspiring people in history are not those who lived easy lives, but those who turned their pain into power. They were broken, but they did not stay broken. They fell, but they got up again and again. They were wounded, yet they used their scars as proof of survival and courage. Their greatness did not come in spite of their hardships, but because of them. We, too, have the same power. Think of a time in your life when you faced something you thought you could never survive. Perhaps it was heartbreak, failure, or loss. And yet here you are, breathing, living, carrying on. That experience changed you. It may have left scars, but it also left strength. It may have taken something from you, but it also gave you resilience. Every time you survive adversity, you add another layer of wisdom to your soul. It is important to understand that adversity is not about breaking us down. It is about breaking us open. It cracks the shell of who we thought we were, revealing a deeper, stronger version of ourselves. Without adversity, we might live comfortably but shallowly. With adversity, we are forced to dig deeper, to question what truly matters, to build a life of depth and meaning. So when the storms of life arrive, and they surely will, do not see them as enemies. See them as teachers. Ask yourself, what is this storm here to teach me? What strength is it trying to reveal? Instead of asking, why me, ask, what now? How can I rise from this? That shift in perspective can turn even the darkest chapter of your life into the most transformative. Adversity also teaches us empathy. When you have suffered, you understand the suffering of others. You listen with compassion, you help with sincerity, you love with tenderness. Your pain becomes a bridge that connects you to humanity. You realize that while adversity may be personal, it is also universal. Every human being carries their share of burdens. And when you rise from your own, you light the way for others to believe they can rise too. Do not be afraid of challenges. Do not fear the hardships that come your way. They may bend you, but they will not break you unless you allow them to. They may change your path, but sometimes the path you never planned leads you to the destination you were always meant to reach. Life does not become easier with adversity, but it becomes more meaningful. and meaning is worth more than comfort. So the next time life pushes you to your knees, remember, you are not being buried, you are being planted. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. The hardship that hurts you today may be the very reason you shine tomorrow. Embrace adversity, not as the enemy, but as the sculptor shaping you into your strongest, most beautiful self. Because in the end, it is not the easy moments that define us. It is the storms we survive, the battles we fight, and the resilience we build that write the true story of who we are. We live in a world where it often feels easier to complain than to give thanks. When something doesn't go our way, we grumble. When life throws challenges at us, we focus on what's missing rather than what's left. Complaints flow naturally because our minds are trained to notice problems. Gratitude, on the other hand, requires intention. Yet it is gratitude, not complaints, that has the power to transform the way we experience life and the way we shape our future. Complaints drain energy. They make us feel powerless, as if everything is outside of our control. They magnify the negative until it is all we can see. Gratitude, in contrast, shifts our perspective. It helps us see that even in the darkest times, there is still light. Even when life is not perfect, there are still blessings to hold on to. Gratitude does not mean denying pain or pretending everything is fine. It means choosing to acknowledge that, along with the pain, there is still something to be thankful for. Every minute you spend complaining about what you don't have is a minute stolen from what you could be creating with what you do have. Complaints keep you stuck. Gratitude pushes you forward. When you complain, you lock yourself in the problem. When you practice gratitude, you open your eyes to solutions and possibilities you might never have noticed otherwise. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One keeps asking, "Why is this happening to me? Why is life unfair?" The other says, "This is hard, but I'm grateful I still have the strength to face it. I'm grateful I have people who care for me. I'm grateful for the lessons I am learning." Both people are in pain, but their outlook will lead them down very different paths. The one consumed by complaints will sink deeper into hopelessness. The one who chooses gratitude will discover resilience, because gratitude gives you a reason to keep moving. Gratitude is not only about the big things in life. It is about the small, often overlooked moments: the warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of laughter, a friend checking in, a meal on the table, the fact that you are still alive and breathing. These may seem ordinary, but they are not guaranteed. When we stop taking them for granted, we begin to realize how rich life already is. It is easy to be grateful when everything is going well. The real strength lies in being grateful when things are falling apart. That kind of gratitude does not erase pain, but it gives you the courage to endure it. It tells you that although you cannot control the storm, you can control your attitude within it. Gratitude becomes the anchor that steadies you in chaos. Complaints will always look backward, focusing on what went wrong, on what is missing, on what could have been. Gratitude looks forward. It says, even though I don't have everything, I still have enough to keep going. Even though the road is tough, I am thankful for the chance to walk it. Gratitude creates hope because it reminds you that life, no matter how difficult, still holds beauty. Choosing gratitude every day builds resilience like a muscle. At first, it may feel unnatural. Your mind may still want to complain, to highlight everything that isn't right. But the more you practice shifting your focus to what you can be thankful for, the stronger your resilience becomes. Slowly, gratitude becomes your reflex. Instead of sinking into despair when challenges arrive, you begin to search for lessons, silver linings, and small blessings. Think of gratitude as a light in the darkness. A complaint can make the darkness feel overwhelming, as if there is no way out. But gratitude, even in the smallest form, is like striking a match. It doesn't erase the darkness completely, but it reminds you that there is still light, still warmth, still a way to move forward. Sometimes, all you need to keep walking through the night is that tiny spark of light. Gratitude also changes relationships. Complaints push people away, making them feel unappreciated or burdened. Gratitude draws people closer because everyone wants to be valued. A simple "thank you," spoken sincerely, can heal wounds and build bonds stronger than words of complaint ever could. Gratitude teaches us not only to see our own blessings, but also to recognize the goodness in others. Most importantly, gratitude changes the way we see ourselves. Instead of focusing on what we lack, it teaches us to celebrate what we already are and what we already have. It reminds us that even if we are not where we want to be, we have already come a long way. It allows us to look at ourselves not with disappointment, but with compassion and appreciation. Life will always give us reasons to complain. It will also always give us reasons to be grateful. The choice is ours. Complaints make us victims of circumstance. Gratitude makes us creators of resilience and carriers of hope. The minute you shift from complaint to gratitude, you reclaim your power. You say to life, you may test me, but you will not defeat me. Because no matter what you take away, I will always find something left to be thankful for. So, in every minute of your day, choose gratitude. When you wake up, give thanks for another chance to live. When you face obstacles, give thanks for the strength to endure. When you feel broken, give thanks for the pieces still left to rebuild. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a choice. And when you choose it again and again, it becomes the foundation of a life filled with hope, courage, and resilience. We often talk about dreams as if they belong to the future, distant goals waiting at the end of the road, far away from the struggles of today. We imagine that someday, when everything is right, when circumstances are perfect, when we have enough resources, then we will finally begin to dream and pursue those dreams. But the truth is, dreams are not born in the future. They are born in the present. Every minute you spend daring to dream right now is a seed planted in the soil of tomorrow. Dreams are not about waiting for life to align perfectly. They are about daring to imagine possibilities, even when life feels broken. They are about seeing beyond the limits of your current situation and allowing hope to take root. You do not need to wait until you are ready, until you are strong, until you are wealthy, or until the world approves of you. You only need to begin here, in this minute, with the courage to believe that what you dream today can become the reality of tomorrow. When you choose to dream in the present, you are not escaping reality, you are reshaping it. Dreams give direction to your efforts. They tell you where to invest your energy, how to endure hardship, and why to keep going when things get tough. Without dreams, life feels like wandering in circles. With dreams, every step, no matter how small, becomes part of a greater journey. Think about the greatest inventions, the most beautiful art, the boldest changes in history. None of them appeared out of nowhere. They began as fragile dreams in the present moment of someone's mind. A writer dreamed of words before they were written. An inventor dreamed of solutions before they were built. A leader dreamed of justice before the world believed it was possible. They did not wait for tomorrow to dream. They dreamed where they stood, and tomorrow was transformed by their courage. The mistake many of us make is waiting. We wait until we have enough money, enough experience, enough approval. We tell ourselves, not now, maybe later. But later never comes because life will always present new challenges. If you do not dare to dream in the present, you risk living a life where your dreams never leave your imagination. You don't have to take a giant leap today, but you can start with a single step, a sketch, a plan, a word, a prayer, a decision. The act of dreaming itself is the first step toward creating. Dreaming in the present also means giving yourself permission to believe in possibilities, even when others doubt you. Not everyone will understand your dreams because they are not meant to. They were given to you, not to them. Sometimes people will dismiss your dreams as foolish or impossible. That is why daring to dream requires courage. It is an act of defiance against fear, doubt, and the limitations others place on you. But dreams are not just about personal ambition. They are about contribution. When you dare to dream, you are not only building a future for yourself, but also creating ripples that touch others. Your dream may inspire someone else to begin their journey. Your dream may solve a problem that makes life easier for countless people. Your dream may bring beauty, kindness, or hope into a world that desperately needs it. That is the power of dreaming in the present. It has the potential to shape more than just your own life. Dreaming does not mean ignoring reality. It means using imagination to rise above it. Even when life is hard, when circumstances are harsh, when you feel stuck, you still have the freedom to dream. No one can take that away from you. Your body may face limitations, your finances may be scarce, your situation may feel impossible. But your mind and heart are free to envision something greater. And when you dare to dream in those conditions, your dreams are no longer fragile wishes. They become lifelines pulling you forward. There will be times when your dreams feel too big, and you may be tempted to shrink them to fit your current reality. But remember, the purpose of a dream is not to match where you are. It is to stretch you into who you can become. If your dreams do not scare you a little, they may not be big enough. Growth happens when we dare to dream beyond the boundaries of comfort. At the same time, dreaming in the present requires patience. Dreams do not bloom overnight. They require persistence, effort, and trust in the process. Just as a seed planted today does not become a tree tomorrow, a dream planted in your heart will take time to grow. You may face setbacks, delays, and failures along the way. But each step you take, each lesson you learn, each obstacle you overcome is watering that dream until one day it stands tall in reality. Dreaming in the present also teaches us resilience. When things fall apart, when plans fail, when you stumble, dreams remind you why you must get up again. They whisper, "This is not the end. Keep moving." Without dreams, failure feels final. With dreams, failure becomes part of the journey. So ask yourself, what are you dreaming of right now? Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for permission. Begin here. Begin now. Close your eyes and allow yourself to imagine the life you want to create, the change you want to bring, the person you want to become. Then take one step, no matter how small, toward that dream. Because every minute you spend dreaming in the present is shaping the reality of your future. In the end, it is not the dreams you keep locked in your heart that will define your life. It is the dreams you dare to nurture today, in this moment, that will pave the way for a brighter tomorrow. So dream now, dream boldly, dream relentlessly. The future is not waiting somewhere far away. It is being built in this very minute by the courage of your dreams. When people think of change, they often imagine something dramatic, a sudden breakthrough, a life-altering decision, or an extraordinary event that transforms everything in an instant. But in reality, change rarely arrives with fireworks. More often, it is shaped quietly through the choices we make in the small, ordinary minutes of our lives. The truth is, the future is not defined by a handful of monumental decisions, but by the countless small choices we make every day. Every choice, no matter how small, is a seed. It may not look like much at the moment, but over time it grows into habits, patterns, and ultimately the story of our lives. Choosing to forgive when it would be easier to hold a grudge shapes the kind of relationships you carry into the future. Choosing kindness when no one is watching shapes the kind of person you become. Choosing perseverance when quitting seems easier shapes the kind of legacy you will leave behind. We often underestimate the power of small decisions. A single kind word can soften a heart. A moment of patience can save a relationship. One decision to get up after failure can lead to success you once thought was impossible. Change does not come only from the big, loud choices. It comes from the quiet, consistent ones that add up over time. Think of water carving a path through stone. The stone is strong, seemingly unbreakable, yet over time, the persistence of small drops of water reshapes it. That is the power of small choices. They may feel insignificant, but they are persistent forces that shape character, relationships, and futures. Each time you choose forgiveness, each time you choose kindness, each time you choose to keep moving despite obstacles, you are reshaping your life in ways you may not even realize. Forgiveness, for example, is not a single grand act. It is a choice you make moment by moment, to let go of resentment, to release yourself from bitterness, to open the door to healing. It is one of the hardest choices, but also one of the most liberating. Holding on to anger feels easier in the short term, but it slowly poisons your spirit. Forgiveness, though difficult, creates peace. That peace shapes the kind of future you walk into, free from chains of the past. Kindness works in the same way. It rarely costs much. A smile, a gentle word, a helping hand. Yet its impact can be profound. You may never know how far one act of kindness travels. It may save someone from despair, restore someone's faith in humanity, or inspire them to pass kindness forward. And while kindness blesses others, it also transforms you. Every choice to be kind builds compassion in your own heart, shaping you into a person who carries light wherever you go. Perseverance, too, is built on small choices. Success is rarely about one giant leap. It is about refusing to give up through countless small steps. It is the choice to get out of bed when you would rather stay under the covers. The choice to try again after failure. The choice to work one more hour, to practice one more time, to keep believing in your dream even when the results are invisible. Each of those small acts of perseverance accumulates until one day you look back and realize you have climbed mountains. What makes small choices powerful is their consistency. One act of kindness does not transform your life, but choosing kindness again and again shapes who you are. Forgiving once is hard, but choosing forgiveness whenever resentment rises shapes your freedom. Pushing through one obstacle may not change much, but choosing perseverance in the face of every setback shapes resilience that can withstand any storm. The beauty of small choices is that they are always within your reach. You may not have the power to change the world in one day, but you have the power to choose how you respond to this moment. You can choose to speak words that heal rather than words that hurt. You can choose to look for solutions instead of dwelling on problems. You can choose to rise after falling instead of staying down. These choices are available to you every minute, and they are what ultimately create big change in your life. When you look back one day, you will realize that your life was not shaped by one or two major events, but by the collection of daily choices you made. The way you treated people, the way you handled challenges, the way you chose to live in the small, ordinary moments, these are what will define your story. So never dismiss the importance of small choices. They may seem invisible, but they are powerful. They are like threads woven into the fabric of your life. Day by day, they create the pattern that becomes your future. Every smile, every word of encouragement, every act of courage, every moment of perseverance, it all counts. If you want to change your future, begin with the choices you are making right now. Choose forgiveness over resentment. Choose kindness over indifference. Choose perseverance over surrender. These small choices, repeated consistently, will shape a life of strength, compassion, and meaning. Because in the end, greatness is not built in a moment. It is built in minutes. And the minutes you live with intention, with kindness, with courage, are the minutes that transform into a legacy far greater than you could ever imagine. Life is often compared to a journey, a book, or a path. But there is another image that captures its essence beautifully, a canvas. Imagine holding a blank canvas at the beginning of your life. Every minute that passes is a brushstroke, a mark of color, a line or shade that adds to the painting. Some strokes are bold and bright, others are faint and subtle. Some are messy and uneven, and some are delicate and precise. But together, they form the story of who you are. We sometimes wait for the big, dramatic moments to define our lives, the milestones, the successes, the failures. But in truth, the masterpiece is not created by a handful of grand strokes. It is created by thousands upon thousands of small brushstrokes layered over time. Each moment you live, each choice you make, each word you speak becomes part of the picture. Even the minutes that seem ordinary, unnoticed, or wasted are still part of the canvas. The beauty of this metaphor is that it reminds us of both responsibility and possibility. Responsibility, because every minute matters. Every stroke you add changes the painting, even if only a little. Possibility, because even if the canvas feels messy right now, you can always pick up the brush and paint again. You do not need to wait for tomorrow to add color, to bring light, to create meaning. The brush is in your hand now. Not every stroke will be perfect. Some will be crooked. Some too dark, some not what you intended. You may look at parts of your canvas and wish you could erase them. But that is the nature of art. It is not meant to be flawless. It is meant to be authentic. A perfect canvas without mistakes would be empty, lifeless. The imperfections, the rough edges, the unexpected colors, these are what make the painting unique. They tell the story of resilience, of growth, of struggle and survival. Think about the difficult moments in your life. At the time, they may have felt like black stains, like smudges ruining the picture. But with time, those dark strokes add depth and contrast. They make the bright colors stand out more vividly. Without shadows, light would have no meaning. Without pain, joy would not shine as brightly. In the same way, the darker minutes of your life do not destroy the canvas. They enrich it. Every brushstroke matters, but no single stroke defines the entire painting. Sometimes we obsess over one mistake, one failure, one season of difficulty, as if it ruins everything. But step back and look at the whole canvas. One dark line does not erase the beauty of the larger picture. The masterpiece is revealed not in a single stroke, but in the collection of all the strokes together. Life as a canvas also reminds us that creation is an ongoing process. The painting is never truly finished until the very end. That means no matter what your canvas looks like right now, there is still room to add new colors, new shapes, new beauty. If your past strokes were filled with regret or pain, that does not mean the rest of the painting must look the same. You can choose to paint differently starting today. Each new minute is another chance to add something brighter, something more meaningful. And just as every artist paints differently, every life canvas is unique. It is easy to compare your painting to someone else's, to think their canvas looks more beautiful, more complete, more successful. But comparison is unfair because you cannot see all the details of their strokes, nor can they see yours. Each person paints with the brushes they were given, with the experiences they faced, with the colors available to them. Your canvas does not need to look like anyone else's. Its value lies in its uniqueness, in the fact that no one else can paint your life but you. The strokes you choose also affect the people around you. Just as paintings inspire those who view them, your life canvas is not only for yourself. It becomes a source of meaning for others. The colors of your kindness, the lines of your perseverance, the shades of your compassion may touch someone else in ways you will never know. What you paint today may inspire another person to pick up their brush and paint with courage. And while life is a canvas, you are both the artist and the artwork. That means you hold the power to decide what to create, but you are also shaped by what you create. Each stroke changes not only the canvas, but also the artist. With every choice, every act, every minute, you are becoming the person you are meant to be. So take a moment to look at your canvas. What do you see? Maybe there are sections you are proud of, places where you painted boldly, loved deeply, dreamed fearlessly. Maybe there are areas you wish were different, mistakes, regrets, missed opportunities. But remember, the canvas is not finished yet. As long as you are breathing, you still have the brush in your hand. You can still add new colors. You can still create beauty. You can still turn even the messiest parts into something meaningful. Do not wait for a perfect moment to start painting with intention. This very minute is your brushstroke. You decide the color. You decide the movement. You decide whether it will be filled with fear or with love, with despair or with hope. Each stroke may seem small, but over time, it becomes part of something much greater than you can see right now. One day, when the painting is complete, you will look back and see not just isolated moments, but a masterpiece, a life filled with light and shadow, with joy and sorrow, with triumph and failure, with love and learning. And you will realize that the beauty was never in perfection. It was in the courage to keep painting, stroke after stroke, no matter what. So embrace your canvas. Cherish every minute. Paint boldly, love deeply, forgive often, dream widely. Because in the end, your life will not be remembered for a single stroke, but for the masterpiece created by all the minutes you lived with intention. Every minute is a gift, a choice, and a chance. It may seem small, almost invisible, but together those minutes shape the life you will one day look back on. Some minutes will be heavy with pain, others light with joy. Some will test you, and some will lift you. But each one holds the power to define who you become. So do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for perfect circumstances, and do not underestimate the quiet moments of today. Forgive when it is hard, be kind when no one is watching, persevere when giving up feels easier, and dream even when the world doubts you. Every act, every thought, every choice is a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. And when the time comes to step back and look at the masterpiece you have created, may you see not just the struggles you endured, but the courage you showed. Not just the mistakes you made, but the lessons you painted over them. Not just the minutes that passed, but the life you chose to shape with them. Because in the end, it is true every minute shapes your future life. The question is, how will you use this one?